Hello everyone. Today I'm using Tiltbrush. I'm using it in the Oculus Quest VR headset, and I thought it'd be a bit of fun to actually create a virtual reality environment, as you can see by the sea with view boats and a nice sky, but do a traditional painting. I started off by creating a canvas, so a virtual canvas, and on the reverse of it I put all my light colours that I was thinking may shine through, like all my light sky colours I put on the back, and I started on the front adding all my dark colours, trying to kind of represent a sky, trying to give the impression of clouds or an impending dark sky. I used the mixture of the brushes and generally the thick paint, and I kind of work from lighter colours coming towards darker colours for your foreground. No particular order, but just trying to get a general impression there. I'm using the splatter brushes to kind of represent clouds. And I think it's quite a good brush to do that. It kind of gives you the shape you need. Just go at it, just squiggle in the clouds, and when they go smaller, you try and make them go smaller to kind of represent the clouds going off in the distance. I just thought I'd mention as well, I use the soft highlighter brush on the reverse of my virtual canvas to try and get that yellow effect in the background. Just represent your clouds, different shapes and sizes of your clouds, different colours as well, just vary as much as you can, just try and get the general feel of it. There I'm putting in the dark parts of the clouds. Generally you find the darker part of the clouds, the bottom part of the cloud is off in the distance, so it looks kind of dark. And again I'm just using the splatter brush, no particular order, just doing the bottom bits of the clouds and just kind of shading them in, I suppose, dark. When you use normal paint, it's easier to do. You can just run in the darker colour and it kind of blends in. Here I'm just filling the tops of the clouds with kind of highlight, so this would be the lighter part of the cloud. So all in all, when you look at it from a distance, it kind of blends in. It tricks the eye into thinking it's all, into looking like it's all blended in. It gives it a bit of structure as well. It makes the clouds look more cloud-like, I suppose. It's quite easy to do with watercolour paints. This you just basically run it in, and it kind of draws itself with watercolour paints. But we've not got that. We're not able to do that in Tiltbrush. So with Tiltbrush devs, watch this. Try and develop a brush where we can blend, or a tool that we can blend colours together with. Here I'm sticking in some distant ground. So this is ground in the distance. So I've come at it with a lighter colour. I'm using the coarse brush for that because it can kind of represent the ground and trees and a tree line as well at the same time. So it's a handy brush to use for land and distant foliage. And as I've come closer, the same brush I've gone a bit darker. Every time I come closer I've gone a bit darker, and you can see the overlap there. And when I'm right up close here, I think I'll just come right up to the front. It's almost like a greeny browny colour, and I'm just jotting it in with the coarse brush. I'm going even darker there. As the two meet, I'm going even darker. And by the way, that central bit there, that's going to be the sea coming in. There you go, you can see another change of colour there. It's going even darker. And it's just doing variations of that. Don't be scared to go over what you've already done. Changing bushes over there. Filling in the sea. This middle front bit is going to represent the sea or water. I'm going to play around with it, but I think just like with the oil paint, the thick paint represented it quite well, so I stuck with that. And I just swooped it in, leaving gaps here and there, and it kind of looked alright. When you zoom out, you're trying to trick the eye. When you're right up on top you can see, but when you zoom out it kind of tricks the eye into it being something it's not. And leave little gaps in there. It leaves little bits of variation and interesting bits. Here I just did a bit of work on the sky as well. And what I noticed as well, when you draw on these virtual canvases or paper or whatever you want to call it, it does actually sink in. So you could draw something, and when you look at it, it looks on top of what's already there. But then when you come back to it, say, in a few minutes, it's kind of gone below the surface. So it kind of gives this a kind of illusion of depth as well, which I think is quite good. I'm putting a bit of red in the sky there as well. I'm using one of the highlighter brushes. Put a bit of red in, and I'm just delineating around the coast area there. And I'm coming in a bit more with a bit of darker foliage again. And then again with the coarse brush again. But you can use any brush you like. The coarse brush, you can get it to represent quite a lot of things. How you use and do the strokes, it represents quite a lot. And they can see it from distance. I've put a little boat in there as well. I'm sorry about the editing, but I've got to fit all this in within a few minutes. And I'll stick another boat in there in the distance, right on the horizon line. I'll stick another boat in. I'll give it a mast. As the mast goes through the light, just break it up a little bit, and it gives the impression of light shimmering through the masts. So it's kind of a more realistic boat, if you know what I mean. Makes it look a little bit better. The front boat here, I'm going to change that. I did the mast with the I think it was with one of the spike brushes, but I'll use the coarse brush for that and do it again. It's, we have to zoom in, big arm movement, and make sure it's straight. And there you go. You see how it's like it just gives the impression that the light's just shimmering through the boat mass. I'm using various types of brushes here. It's generally the tapered, the pinch tapered, the coarse brush, splatter brush, just to give a real good thick foliage, but also try and give it a little bit of interest as well. And vary the colours as well of the foliage as you go back, doing lines as you come forward, towards the ground. Keep it darker, and overall it gives a good impression. Just sticking a bit more foliage. I think it needed a bit more interest at the foreground here. There it is with a mount on it, a virtual mount. How about that? That looked nice, hung on somebody's wall, or hung in this virtual environment. What I'm going to do, I'm going to select it all, and take away the virtual canvas and just leave the paint in there. I'll just whip that guide, hide it behind the tree, and voila, there we go. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe and put your comments in the box, and bye for now.